Hey everybody, Hades Manticore here. Obviously, I just wanted to make a quick end of the year video for this here little channel since, well, it makes sense for a year one progress report, doesn't it? Even though I don't really have much to report on. I also just wanted to cap off the year proper after my last video, one you should check out if you're somehow watching this video instead. This is on top of the fact that I'd like to discuss my future plans for this channel, as well as acknowledging the stuff I know I need to improve on. That on top of being a good video to cap things off on, so I can rest for the rest of the year. And by rest, I mean gather a ton of footage for various games for the future. So, let's get at it then. This year I successfully managed to release 18 total videos, that's counting this one, obviously, on top of all the rest. I met my only goal, which was to produce at least one video every month for the year of 2020. So yay! I did it. I managed to not disappoint myself for once in my life. Which, as unambitious as it sounds, that will be my only goal going forward with this channel. I know, I should probably aim higher somewhat, but I like to keep expectations low for myself so I don't disappoint anyone else in my life. 15 of the produced videos are about video games. One of them was about weird videos on Amazon Prime, one was a channel introduction, and one is this very channel recap. I definitely wasn't very diverse in my covered content like I said I would be in my little channel intro, but what can I say really? I love video games, and I've loved going back to the ones from my youth, the ones I've never played before, and the ones I've never beat as well. Which is a lot of games thinking back to it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't beat a ton of the games I played as a kid. It certainly wasn't an attention span thing, since I played a ton of RPGs, like Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Jade Empire, Mass Effect, and Persona 4 as well. It was probably more that I rented a majority of them, so I only had a few days at most to beat them. Looking through my big book of potential review topics, a majority of the topics listed within are video games. Most of my reviews will probably be video games as a result, but I promise in 2021 I'll try to shake it up a bit with a tabletop game review or one of those creative videos I mentioned. As for stuff I need to improve, well, I'll be updating my end card since I don't really pay attention to my Let's Play channel anymore. I have it uploaded in like a year at this point, and I don't really have much motivation to do it anymore. In the future, I'll consider reviving it since I do like the channel name, and if I ever get bigger, it'll be a good way to put out regular content for people to enjoy while waiting for actual videos. Or perhaps if I ever start streaming, I'll use it as an archival channel of sorts. I don't know, we'll see how it all pans out. I also plan on paying actual attention to my in-video text. For the most part, I've just picked white text since it tends to be readable and easy, but I definitely need to be, you know, actually nice looking and far more legible than they've been. So, you know, at least white text with a black background. In terms of other upgrades, I managed to pick up a capture card recently, one that my primitive lizard brain got to work properly with all my consoles, new and old. So now I can grab 100% legit footage for any of the older games I opt to review. Fighting Force was actually the first game I used the capture card on, and it went pretty well, barring some sound issues, which boils down to just one side being more quiet than the other for some reason, which I've already fixed with the next title. The capture card is super nice, especially when it comes to bitchier to emulate consoles like the Sega Saturn. Typically, to emulate a Saturn, you need the game's ROM, on top of needing to spoof the disk drive using my PC, and something to mount the disk image like daemon tools to be able to play them at all. Now I can just record straight from the old girl herself, which honestly is what I've wanted to do more than anything. Truth be told, I've been relying on emulation for older titles, and I've always worried about any sort of fuck-ups when it comes to that. Emulation isn't perfect after all, and you can get stuff like graphical glitches and a chugging frame rate. Stuff like that, but now I don't have to worry at all, so I can fully rip on shitty games. I might still use emulation in certain cases, particularly when it comes to more pricey titles that I want to review, and stuff like arcade games, since, you know, getting a whole cabinet is just not possible for me. I don't know if you've looked into video game prices lately, but for example, a copy of the PS2 horror game Rule of Rose can run a minimum of $400. Suikoden 2 can go for $150, and Misadventures of Tronbon can go for like $300. These are just some examples, but yeah, some older games can go for crazy prices these days. Shit, at my local game store, I spotted a copy of Clock Tower for the PS1 for $80 dues. Basically, if it's too expensive, I'll most likely emulate it. Is that understandable? I hope so, at least. I also want to dip into more recent games too, mainly due to my want to replay a lot of the older games I've played on my Let's Play channel. I played a lot of fun stuff there, to be honest, and would like to make a more concise review of these games. I know I basically said I'd be leaving that channel to rot, but feel free to check it out if you want. As for current projects, I'll say the Golden Axe retrospective will be continuing, obviously. Revenge of Death Adder is the next title in that legacy, followed by Warrior, which might take me a bit longer to beat since it's a title like Legend of Zelda, not a simple little side-scrolling beat-em-up like 1, 2, and Revenge. Beyond that, I have the full footage for 4 separate reviews at the moment. One of those reviews might get scrapped for a future project, one is being edited currently, one is on its second script draft, and the last needs a script written for it entirely. One additional review I'm still compiling footage for, but might opt to start just writing the script at this point since I have a shit ton of footage for it already and can get a point across with what I have so far. I also have 2 scripts for miscellaneous ideas written as well, and they just need to be revised and have footage recorded for them. I might end up doing more than just these things in the meantime, but this this is what I have for now, at least. A lot of the times I can lose the motivation to work on a project, so I'll start a new one and bang it out before heading back to something I've already started. I hope you'll all stick around for this channel's future videos. I'm having fun doing everything in relation to this channel, playing the games, writing the scripts, and even editing the videos I'm actually enjoying. These dumb little videos are fun to make, to say the least. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I hope you'll stick around if you've been watching. I'm Heya's Manticore, this is State Manticore, and I'll see y'all next year. Goodbye.